Welcome back to another video. Today it's a Hear Me Out video. Hear Me Out, Full Metal Alchemist sequel. As we know, Full Metal Alchemist is highly regarded in the anime community as one of the perfect animes, one of the masterpieces that you can always watch. Whether it's Full Metal Alchemist from 2003 or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you really can't go wrong in which interpretation you like more, or if you just like to read the manga. Both shows are really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. And they're considered masterpieces, 10 out of 10s in some people's eyes, right? Now hear me out. Full Metal Alchemist sequel. Come on now, because as we know, at the end of the show, Edward gave up his powers, and overall we see Edward's brother Alphonse leave, right? I always thought there was a spinoff, that there should have been a spinoff or a continuation of Alphonse's story as he travels the world in his human body. As we know, he's seen everything, of course, but now since he has more knowledge of alchemy, right, and he's this more skilled brother of Edward and Alphonse, just Alphonse wasn't able to do Edward's hand mutation thing. Of course, Edward was more focused to give him his main character. Alphonse should have gotten his own singular story, rather that's him joining the academy, rather that's him joining the government. He really should have gotten a story, as Edward's story came to an end, for sure. But I feel like they left the door open for Alphonse. Alphonse, whether he was traveling, researching, or he just wanted to know more about his father, Van, whether he wanted to know more about the world. Like, he's the more curious, adventuring brother out of these two, as Edward just wanted to end everything. But Alphonse found the curiosity in life. So, hear me out. Hear me out. And this is how I would do it. I would start from the train scene where they have to depart, right? And Alphonse goes on the train, right? Now you see Alphonse on the train, and the first stop is to join the academy. Rather that's to work on his alchemy or see where his power level is at his alchemy, as only Edward lost his power of alchemy. Everyone else can still use it. Alphonse can still use alchemy, so it would be a fun dynamic. Of course, Edward would cameo in the show because that's just who Edward is. And what the show is, of course, the show really can't work without the two brothers, but I want the show to focus more on Alphonse, and Edward just make cameos here and there as his story is done. But come on, Alphonse, his curiosity, him joining the academy, him helping out the government, or him just indulging in the information of alchemy, indulging in the more research of his father, enjoying the curiosity of the life that was presented by his father, the curiosity of the end fight of father, and then the curiosity of mostly everyone in the story. Like, there is so much more. Like, I feel like Full Metal Alchemist is one of the stories that got fleshed out, for sure. But if they wanted to expand, especially expand the world, Alphonse was the way to do it, as he was the more knowledgeable one. He was the more curious one, so he's probably wanted to go out. He's wanted to go out and know more, gain more knowledge, gain the curiosity, and I would like to see him become more powerful than his brother, or become the best alchemy user out there. Of course, not to the level of the homuncle or father, as that requires like years and experimentation. We don't need all that again. The villains of the story could be scarce, rather they could be skillful villains or anything, but I would just want to see Alphonse get his own story, because they left that door open for a sequel. Now it's been 16, 17 years since Full Metal Alchemist has ended, but there was an announcement in 2021, 2022 about the creator on the 20th anniversary of Full Metal Alchemist. It's sad that it wasn't a sequel. I really don't know much about that announcement, but I know it wasn't a sequel, because I know that would have made waves around the anime community, and I'm part of that. But anyway, yeah, give Alphonse his own story. I would have liked to see him gain more skillful villains, of course. Edward help out here and there, but Alphonse power grow. Alphonse not limping. Alphonse, eventually fixing or even giving Edward a choice to gain his power back. I don't think Edward would want to become an alchemist again. And Edward eventually bringing an end to all alchemy, not just for him, but for everyone. And that's how I would end Alphonse's story, as Alphonse was more skillful, more knowledgeable, and he would find the end to it all, rather just for Edward, as everyone else could still use alchemy. And Alphonse should be able to end it for all, as no one should be able to go through what his brother and him experienced, especially since in a story like that, there's going to be more of them and more of people that want to use alchemy for bad. So I would have just loved to see Alphonse's story. Anyway, like and subscribe. Let me see you in the next one.